Okay, as it's now 11:10, I'd like to start the today's theme-based invited speaker session. Today we have a talk by Dr. Chengjiu YIN, and he's currently an associate professor at the Information Science and Technology Center of Kobe University in Japan. Just a little bit of background on Dr. Yin. He's currently the chair of the executive summary of ICC for 2020. He also was the co-chair of COMTEL-SIG in APSI during 2016 to 2017. He served as the executive chair for ICC C4 track, which is also COMTEL. And he's served as the executive chair for 2 times, and also the poster coordination chair of ICC 2017. In addition, he has served as the guest editor for the Journal of Distance Education Technology for 3 times, and also Interactive Learning Environments, which is an SSCI journal, for 4 times. Dr. Yin has more than 10 years of experience in the field of education technologies, such as language learning, mobile learning, and also learning analytics. He has published more than 150 academic papers, 45 of which are journal papers. His current research foci is in the area of education, data mining, and learning analytics. Dr. Yin received the Best Paper Award for a short paper in the 15th IEEE ICULT conference, and also a Best Paper Award in the IIAI International Conference in 2019. Also last year, he received the esteemed Early Career Award from APSI, and he was also granted a research funding for a project that seeks to improve teaching materials through the analysis of educational big data. And I'd say, building on this background, today he'll be presenting a talk on ebooks, reading log-based learning analytics. So when you're ready, Dr. Yin, please share your screen.
Okay. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, Brian. So actually, I created a video for the presentation, so I will like show you the video of my research. Okay. Hello everyone, my name is Chengjiu YIN, come from Kobe University of Japan. And it's my great honor to be able to speak to you today. The title of my topic is the ebook learning reading, log-based learning analytics. So at first, I want to introduce myself. I'm an associate professor in Kobe University of Japan. And I worked as a visiting scholar at the University of Minnesota in 2018, and I won the earlier career research award in 2019 in APSI. So this is the outline of my this topic. So at first I want to introduce the background, and then I want to introduce the ebook book system which was used to collect the learning logs, and then I want to introduce the 2 case studies which use the ebooks learning logs. This is the background of my research. Learning analytics has become an important issue in the field of the computer technologies. Learning analytics is the central concern of the educational institutions. Learning analytics provides helpful suggestions to learners, instructors, and policy makers. So traditional textbooks has been replaced by the digital textbooks. Digital books has become a potentially effective pedagogy tool for the teaching, learning, and scholarship. So with the digital textbooks, we can create a significant amount of the educational data. So in Japan, ebooks are continually being introduced to the educational institution, and many researchers focus on doing the learning analytics through the ebooks learning logs. So in structure, the teachers can upload their lecture materials to the ebook system, and students can read the learning content through the ebook system, and their learning logs will be received to the database, and with this learning log, we are doing some learning analytics, and the analytics result will feedback to the real class. I want to introduce our ebook system. So this is the ebook system. Use the ebook system, you can turn to the next page and go back to the previous page, and you can use the zoom in and zoom out. You can also add marks such as highlight and underline. You can also write some memories. So this ebook is developed in our in Korea University. So this is the sample ebook logs. So, for example, the student 1 is reading the learning law course learning material, and he want to go to the next page, and the next page is 60, and this action happens at this time. So with these learning laws, we carry out two case studies. The first one is identify learning patterns by using clustering. So this is the research problem of the first case study. So I want to know what type of the reading style can be identified from the learning logs, and what type of the learning behavior are significantly related to the learning performance. And I want to know in what type of the behavior clusters could the student be grouped, and what other behavior features of each clusters. So this is the participant and the context. So the data were collected by using the ebook during the information science course, and the learning goal of the course was to teach students ICT technologies, and a total 108 freshmen attended the course, and 10 students was removed, and the data from the remaining 98 students were used in this study. So we carry out a three-step analysis. The first one is use the visualization, and we visualize the students' learning behaviors, and the second is doing a learning analytics, correlation analysis, and the third one is carrying out a clustering analysis. For the first step, we to identify the digital reading style. We visualize the learning behaviors. So we find some learners always go back to the previous page and try to relate immediately to their to subject things we already know, and we call this style as the digital backtick style. And we also find some students tend to understanding in linear steps. So with each step following logically from the previous ones. So we call this style as the sequential styles. So so we are we suppose that these two different reading style will have different learning effectiveness. Therefore, we carry out a correlation analysis, and we want to find out which features could affect learning performance. And the variable include the behaviors and the time spent reading pages and how many pages were read and so on. And here, achievement growth score is the post-test score. So we calculated the backtrack rates by using the times of returning to previous page divided by the times of going forward to the next page. This is the result. We found that learning performance has a significant positive correlation with the read page and reading time and previous times and backtrack rates. So according to the results, we carry out a key means clustering analysis based on the similar learning behaviors. So we cluster students into 4 groups by using the key means cluster. And this is the result. So in comparing the students in C2 and C3, we find C3 have a better learning style. C3 always go back to the previous page. And the C2, the group C2, the student in C2 group read the page for many times and read many pages. So, but there is no difference with their AGS. It means so the findings show that the backtrack learning styles has a positive influence on the learning effectiveness, and it helps students manage their time to learn effectively. To compare the C3 and the C1, we find that the C3 has the backtrack reading style of the C3 is better than the C1, but the learning achievements and the reading page and the period time and the reading times of C1 is better than C3. So also, so we can conclude that so also the students have good learning styles, but they still need to spend more time to read the learning content to ensure better learning achievements. Then I want to introduce the second study. So the second study is to examining the learning strategy used sequential analysis. So actually, before we carry out the case study, we create a framework. I want to introduce the framework first. The framework named the Recuba framework. So this is a research program. So through we use the some educational data and analysis technologies, some learning behavior pattern can be easily found. However, it's not easy to understand the reason why the behavior pattern happens. So for example, in the case study 1, we found that the backtrack reading style is good, but it is difficult to understand why this behavior pattern happens. So therefore, it's very important to understand why the learning pattern or learning strategy behind the behavior occurs. Therefore, we create the Recuba framework. So this is Recuba framework. We can know this framework has 5 steps. They are data collection, data processing, data analyzing, and uh, result confirmation and result application. So I will explain more about this framework in detail later. Before that, I want to introduce some previous learning analytics frameworks. So there are many frameworks about the learning analytics. So here I want to introduce some frameworks. Siemens proposed a learning analytics circle framework adopting a system approach that includes 7 components. They are collection, storage, data cleaning, data integration, analysis, and visualization and action. So collection is the first step. The prime test of the education data mining and analysis is to collect data. That is to obtain data from different education environments. The storage is the second step. Data storage is the storing of data in storage medium. And the third step is the data cleaning. Data cleaning is the process of the detecting and creating wrong record from the record set database. And data integration is the fourth step. Data integration is an operation that combines data from different sources and provide users with a unified view of this data. So, and the next step is the data visualization and representation. So it is to graphic the representation of the data. So it involves producing image that communicate relationships among the represented data to view the images. And the last step is action. Researchers could apply the analysis result to the educational practice by monitoring, predicting, evaluating, personalizing, recommending, reflecting, and improving. Chatty has introduced a theory to a learning analysis framework. The theory is the Cobble's educational or learning circle. So based on the previous research, it's easy to see all of these frameworks usually consider data consists of the data collection, data processing, data analysis, and data application. But all lack of the analysis result confirm step. So therefore, based on these two framework, we create a new framework named the Recuba framework. So and we add result confirmation step to the framework. So I would like to introduce the Recuba framework in detail. So based on the previous research, it's easy to see that all of these frameworks usually consider data collection, data process, and data analysis, and result application. But all of these framework lack the analyze result confirmation step. So we added a step to this framework. Data collection is the first step of the Recuba framework. The first problem of the data collection is how to collect data from different types of data source. After the review of the previous researchers, we found that there are 4 kinds of technologies used to collect data. So they are Internet of Things technology, and the video recording technology, and the image recognition technology, and the platform acquisition technology. Data collection can be divided into 3 categories. The first category is the questionnaire-based data collection. So data are collected using the pre-designed questionnaire. And the second category is the manual data collection. So
In this category, a manual data collection system is opened to users. Users use the system and consciously leave data on their learning behaviors. So the second is the automatically data collection. So the learning behaviors are recorded automatically. User leave the recorder objectively. For the category A and category B, the data are consciously collected. Therefore, data are affected by users' own subjective factors. For the category C, the data is objectively collected, thereby removing the subjective factors that affect data authenticity. Data processing step is the second step of the Recuba framework. Data processing has 6 main tasks. They are data cleaning, data normalization, data transformation, data misvalue imputation, data noise identification, and data integration.
So this is the data analysis step. So data analysis step include so according to the analysis goals, and then the analysis can be divided into 3 categories. They are prediction and structure discovery and relationship mining.
So the first category is the prediction. So we usually use a set of data to predict students' future learning behavior or learning outcomes. There are many prediction analysis methods such as the classification and regression. And the second category is the structure discovery. Structure discovery attempts to find the structure, patterns, and the data points in a set of the data without any gross truths. Clustering, factor analysis, knowledge inference, and network analysis are common analysis methods of the structure discovery. So the third category is relationship mining. The relationship mining is to discover the relationships between the variables in a dataset. And these relationships are seen as rules of the data for later use. So there are many relationship mining methods such as the association rule mining, correlation mining, sequential pattern mining, and causal data mining.
So this is the result confirmation step. Result confirmation step was designed to provide an exploration the reason behind the result. So what is the result confirmation? So we defined it as the cause analysis of the occurrence of the behavior of the strategies, and which are obtained by the learning analytics. So there are 3 methods of the analysis result confirmation. We define them as the mixed confirmation, comparative confirmation, and the phased confirmation. So for the first one, we also always use the quantitative and qualitative study to carry out the mixed confirmation, such as use the self-reports, questionnaires, and interviews. And for the second, we always use the 2 dimension to carry out this confirmation. So the first one is the time dimension. The second one is the spatial dimension. The time dimension, such as we can use the semester and the school years. And for the spatial dimension, we can use the different schools to compare the different schools. So for the fifth confirmation, we also carry out 2-stage confirmation. So for the first stage, we also use we always use the statistical analysis. And if we found some interesting result, we can go to the second stage. And the interview and the questionnaire are always used in the second stage. So this is the result application. So after the results were confirmed, the researcher could apply the analysis result to the educational practice by monitoring, predicting, and recommending, and so on.
The final goal of the Recuba framework is to apply the analysis result to the educational practice. So different roles can get different benefit from the analysis result. So for students, the analysis result could be applied to their learning activities by personalizing and recommending method. So this method allows the student to adjust their learning plan in time and also help them accept the recommendations and the relevant discussion contents as well as the personalized books. So for the teachers, with the help of the guidance and assessment method, the feedback from students may prompt the verification and confirmation of the teacher strategy used in the classroom. It also helps them discover the students' learning behavior. So for the course designer, reflection and improvement mean to reflect on or improve the course contents and the instructor materials according to the analysis result. For the administrator of the education institution, the feedback of the analysis results is used as an indicator from the evaluation of the teachers, students, and the institutions. Therefore, education program or plan can be adjusted in time.
Then I want to introduce the Recuba-based case study and the experiment. So to examine the usability of the proposed framework, so a Recuba-based case study was conducted. So we want to know what type of the learning strategy or learning pattern can be identified from the learning goals, and what type of the learning strategy or learning patterns can are significantly related to the learning performance. So this is the partition page and the contents. So the data used in this study was created by the ebooks and in my course named Educational Technology. So the learning goal, the course it was to teach students the basic principle of the education technologies, and the students will give give an academic paper about the education technology to read by using Ebook systems. So this is the data collection step. We use the Ebook to collect the students' learning logs. This is the data processing step. So data processing rules are as follows. So inverted reading time means, so if a student spends less than 5 seconds on one page, then the student did not read the page. We consider for the inverted record, if the time of variation between two actions is longer than 20 minutes, so we can consider that the recorder is invaluable, because it means that the student did not read the contents and he did not conduct any action with 20 minutes. So we also carry out the normalization and transformation in this data processing step. So in the data analysis step, we use the sequential analysis to analyze the progressive learning behavior patterns and then discover students' learning habits. So for example, the circle means the behavior learning, and this link means the direction, and this the number, the value means this behavior is associated with the other behaviors if the value is greater than 1.96. So
JSEQ is a tool to carry out sequential analysis. It can help to measure the behavioral transitions.
So this is the sequential analysis result.
To explore the behavior pattern of the students in reading ebooks, a series of progress sequential analysis was conducted. As shown in the table, the rows represent the starting behaviors and the columns represent the subsequent behaviors. A z-value grid as shown. The value greater than 1.96 means that the behavior sequence reached the level of the significance. And the table indicates that there are 16 significant sequences that occurred during the reading ebooks. Based on the significant sequence, the diagram of the behavior transition was prepared. A figure shows the behavior transition diagram of the students. All of the sequences in the diagram are statically significant. The value about each line represents the z0 for the sequence, while the direction of the line represents the direction of the behavioral transition. In the figure above, it is obvious that highlight has correlation with delete highlights. This means that highlights are respectively associated with the delete highlight. The underline has correlations with the delete underline. This means that underline are respectively associated with the delete underline. So the basic progressive learning behavior patterns can be obtained from the figure. For example, we can find some students delete highlights after adding the underline, and some students delete the highlight after adding the highlight. So, but it is difficult to know why this pattern happens. In the result confirmation step, in order to know the reason why students do the actions, so we carry out an investigation to know why they do the actions.
After adding highlight and the students delete highlight. So from an interview, we find a student answered. So I highlighted because I thought it was the main idea of the paragraph. So, but I realized it was wrong and I deleted it. So, and for the second student, I highlighted on some words. After that, I found it was not meaningful word. I find more meaningful words. So for the second students, the third students, they said because I thought it was an important place. After I read the rest of the paper, I found that it was not important. So for the second pattern, so we found that after deleting underline, the student often add underline. So from interview, we found student answered, when I completed the reading of this paper, I feel that I understand all of them, so I deleted underline. I thought the part which had been underlined was not important anymore, so I deleted underline. So when I had a question on the contents, I marked it. After I found the answer, I deleted them all. So this is the suggestion. From the interview, it was found that it was difficult for them to identify which words were important. So I suggested to mark the important place on the learning materials. So before students reading the contents. So To apply this finding, we propose a learning strategy, which is highlight the learning emphasis before students read the learning materials.
As shown in the figure, we marked the learning emphasis in the ebooks and used the underline and highlight.
And in order to verify the effectiveness of learning strategy, we carry out an experiment. This is the experimental design. So for the control group, they reading the ebook without marking the learning emphasis. And for the experiment group, the student mark reading the ebooks with the marker learning emphasis. So and we carry out pre-test and post-test. So this is the experimental result. So it was concludes that the marked learning contents marked the learning emphasis method was beneficial for the students to understand the learning emphasis. So this is the conclusion. In Japan, ebooks are being used to collect learning student learning behavior laws. So and two case studies were carried out in this research. So they are clustering and situational analysis. So for the first case study, the backtrack learning strategy can help students to save their time when they are studying. And for the second learning study, we create a Recuba framework, and we propose marking the learning behavior, marking learning emphasis learning strategy. So the strategy is beneficial for the student to understand the learning contents. So thank you very much.
Oh, thank you very much. So it's in my presentation. Hello, Ray.
Thank you, Dr. Yin, for your very informative and interesting presentation. I think we all learned a great deal from it. To show our appreciation for your invited talk, I'd like to present you with this certificate of appreciation in recognition of your contribution as the ICC 2020 theme-based invited speaker. So thank you very much, Dr. Yin.
Thank you.
Now I'd like to open the floor to questions or comments about Dr. Yin's presentation today. So if you have any questions or comments, please either raise your hand in Zoom, or you can type the comment into the chat window. Just in the meantime, I have one quick question. I was very interested in the two case studies that you presented. But I was wondering, how do you plan to feed back the results to the teachers and students?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I mean, in the first case study, I didn't do the feedback to the student or to the teacher. So I think this is the problem. So in the second study, I carry out the interview, and I found that the students always highlight cannot find the important place. So I use this found in the feedback to the teacher, and the teacher highlight their learning material and or underline their important place. So they can, so, and I use this learning material to help that student to read the paper. And I found that it can help a student to easily find the important place. Yeah, so this is the feedback, yeah.
Okay,
So,
thank you very much.
okay.
Do we have any questions or comments from any of the audience? Okay, I have one more question. What do you see as the kind of the future direction of your research? Where would your framework go from now? What do you think the next step is?
Oh, you mean my field research? Okay. In the future, I want to use, we create this Recuba framework. So I think this is not only used, it can be used in many fields. Can use the, I think this framework used to do the learning analytics. So, and I based on this method, I want to collect data and analyze data and find some interesting strategy and feedback strategy to the class. And yeah, this is my future research plan. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. In the chat, we have one question. Did you compare students' learning with their reading behavior?
Compare? You mean compare the behavior?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I did not compare the learning behavior with each other. So yeah, maybe this is a good idea. In the future, I can do this kind of research. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. We have another clarification for the same question. I mean, did you find any particular reading behavior that minor high-performing group of students had? So maybe to do with academic performance. Did you find any specific reading behaviors for those different groups of students?
Yeah. Okay. So I found that there somebody asked a question with the chat. So can I answer the question?
Yes.
Oh, you read their comments. Did you read their question? Did you compare student learning with their reading behavior? I mean, did you find any particular reader behavior that mean a high performance in group of students have? Yeah, actually, for this question, in the first case study, I find some students always go back to the previous page. I think this is a special learning behavior, and I group them into 4 groups, and I find students who always go back to the previous page, and they get a good learning performance, and the good learning. It means a save their time. He didn't use so many times, and they get a good learning performance. This means this can help them to manage their time, save their time effectively. Yeah, this is, yeah.
Okay, thank you. We have one from Dias. Which parts of the framework can we use if all we have is behavior info but no achievement info?
Oh, parts of the framework can use. We have is behavior info, not. Or you mean if you don't have learning achievement? So actually, it is a difficult question. So I think we can learning performance is learning achievement is we always to in the educational technology research, we have to know the learning effect. So it is better to have learning achievement. If you don't have the learning achievement, but I think it's also you can use the framework. You can know you can know what kind of behavior they always use. So this is difficult. Do you have any idea? Do you have any idea?
I guess maybe using unsupervised analysis, you could be clustering students, but not necessarily by academic performance. You might be looking for students with similar behaviors. That might be one way of using it. I think not having that sort of data changes the data analysis section of the framework quite a bit.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Maybe we can discuss this later. It is a very difficult question, actually. Yeah, I always confuse with this question. Okay.
Okay, we have another question. Thank you very much for the theme presentation, Dr. Yin. If providing a dashboard for students and teachers to review their reading behaviors, what information or attributes do you think are understandable and making sense to include?
Oh, yeah, I think I find in my research, I find the highlight and the underline. So it's a good learning behavior. You should show the how many in one page, how many highlights and how many underline were done, and you can show them and see them maybe can use this information, help them to understand the learning material. And you can also link some page before, for example, if a student is reading the 10th page and they always go back to the 5th page, so you can create a link to each other. So we can go back to 5 page quickly. I mean, if they always go back this page, it means the knowledge in these 2 pages have a relation. So if we give a link, they can go back the page quickly. Yeah, this is my comments. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, do we have any more questions or comments? We have around about 10 minutes left.
Well, this session is 1 hour or
1 hour, I think.
1 hour session. I don't know. I heard it is 40 minutes session.
Maybe back to Dita's question on if we don't have performance information. Maybe there are other characteristics that we can calculate from data, like system engagement and things like that, that could be used instead of performance. Might be an interesting thing to investigate as well. Okay.
Okay.
It looks as though we don't have any more questions. So I'd like to finally thank Dr. Yin for his very inspirational talk.
Thank you very much.
It's really nice to see in the field of learning analytics kind of a holistic view of the whole process that that needs to be done to especially find meaning in ebook log analysis. So thank you very much, Dr. Yin, for your
Thank you.
talk. And okay, I'd like to bring this session to a close. So thank you everyone for attending.